Not every rich person is born into a wealthy family, so why do some people have more money than others if we all have the exact same number of hours in one day? In this video, we're going to be going over the 8 things that poor people do that rich people don't, and I promise you are going to like the last 4, so make sure that you stay until the end of the video. This is going to be a good one. Alright guys, so we are going to count down from number 8. This is going to be a fun video. Number 8 is don't show off, right? These 2 guys right here, which one of them do you think is rich and which one of them do you think is poor? At first glance, you might think that the one on the left is actually the rich one, but oftentimes people who wear Gucci and wear Yeezys are just trying to look like they're rich. And it's usually those people who actually aren't rich. And this might be shocking to some viewers, but there is no reason in the world to buy a $1,000 pair of jeans when you can get the exact same thing, probably made in the exact same factory for literally 1/10 that price without the tiny little brand that some people are looking for. And rich people realize that buying name brand clothes for 10 times as much as they should cost is not a good investment and not a good use of money and wealth. Mark Zuckerberg is one of the richest people on the planet, and he wears the exact same shirt every single day, and Steve Jobs did the same exact thing. So the moral of the story for number 8 is there is no point to try to flex and appear like you're rich, and most of the time that you see someone doing that, it's because they're trying to prove to you that they're rich when most of the time they're not. Number 7 is investing in the right things, because it's not correct to say that rich people never spend money on expensive items. Just because rich people don't waste money on a $1,000 pair of pants when you get the exact same pair for $50, that doesn't mean they never spend money. Rich people invest in products that actually make them money rather than just being a sunk cost. For example, technology. This computer cost me probably close to $5,000, but this computer has literally made me millions and millions of dollars in return. So yes, it was an expensive investment, but the reason that I bought it is because I knew that it would pay for itself handsomely, and now I could have bought a much cheaper laptop, but I knew that this laptop would last me for years, and I knew that it would be the best laptop that was currently available. And obviously this is probably going to start a war in the comments because this is in fact a MacBook laptop, and that I know that there's some diehard PC fans, but the point is, guys, that I invested in a laptop that I knew I'd have for years and I knew I'd be working on every single day, rather than investing in a cheaper machine or a cheaper computer that would be slower and cause me more pain and not be able to do the things that I knew I needed to be done on that laptop. And so the moral of number 7 is spend money on things that will actually make you money rather than sunk costs like a $1,000 pair of pants. Number 6 is spending habits. Do you know anyone that always seems like they're struggling for money, but that same person always has a Venti caramel macchiato Starbucks cup in their hand and the brand new iPhone? A major difference between rich people and poor people is that rich people don't spend money on things they don't need, and poor people do. And poor people at the end of the month are always scratching their heads wondering where all their money went. And this puts them in a very unhappy, vicious cycle. They work and they spend all the money that they made working, then they take another job to be able to spend more, but it's still not enough. The more they earn, the more they spend. They start working on the weekend and their life turns into a futile attempt to work as much as they possibly can to try to keep up with their spending habits. Rich people buy what they need and what will actually make them more money. And as they start to make significantly more money than they made last month, they don't increase their spending habits in parallel with their earnings. And so to cement this idea, I want to give an example. Let's say that I earn $10,000 a month and my expenses are $5,000 a month. If next month all of a sudden my business takes off and I start making $100,000 a month, my expenses don't need to equally go up the same percentage. So if I make $10,000 and my expenses are $5,000, if all of a sudden I'm making $100,000, my expenses don't need to be $50,000. They could stay at that $5,000, and that's what rich people understand, right? You don't have to spend more money just because you're making more money. If you have a comfortable, happy life and you have the things that you need, you don't need to spend as much as you make. And that is something that rich people understand that poor people don't. And so the moral of number 6 is don't spend money on things you don't need, and don't let your expenses keep up with the amount that you earn. Just spend money on what you need to be happy and to have a comfortable life. Number 5 is money management. Rich people know how to manage their money. They know how to budget. They know how to manage expenses. They don't overspend. And if they use a credit card, they never pay any interest on it because they make their full payment every single month. And people are scared of credit cards. People have this myth embedded in their head that credit cards are only for stupid people and suckers and people that need to spend more than they actually earn. But this couldn't be farther from the truth. Someone that is a responsible spender who manages their spending and properly budgets using a credit card, there are actually a lot of benefits to it. You're better protected using a credit card spending than with a debit card. If there's ever some type of fraud, you can always recover your money with a credit card, and you can't with a debit card. You accumulate points, which gets you free travel all around the world, free hotels, and so many more benefits, and I've never paid a cent of interest in my entire life accumulating millions and millions and millions of credit card points, spending money that I would already otherwise be spending. And the reason that poor people, on the contrary, live in a world of credit card debt and stress is because they don't keep track of their money or plan their budget. They spend their money, and when it's gone, they resort to using credit cards to keep on spending. And so the moral of number 5 is manage your money correctly. Using credit cards is an unbelievably easy way that the rich use to make more money without ever paying a cent of interest. But if you're not careful, credit cards can become a terrible expense if you're irresponsible with your spending. Number 4 is how you see the world. How you see the world is one of the most important parts from making the transition from poor to rich. And if you're still watching, this is where this video is going to start to get good. Rich people see opportunities while poor people see obstacles. Rich people see opportunities for growth and success in everything that they do. When rich people go out to start a new project or business, they're optimistic that everything will be a huge success. And that confidence helps to ensure that that business or project actually becomes a success. And rich people own both the successes and the failures of their actions. They take responsibility for their actions and the results that come from those actions. And they're ready to go to any length to achieve their desired result. And poor people usually focus on the obstacles that new opportunities bring, potential losses, and the risks that they'll have to take to actually achieve the results they desire. And so the moral of number 4 is that one person could see taxis as a horrible expense and complain about it as an obstacle, and the other person could see the next billion-dollar startup that becomes Uber. Number 3 is focusing on the right things. Rich people concentrate on what they want to achieve, while poor people concentrate on what they want to avoid. Rich people don't make excuses. They simply do what's necessary and needs to be done to get the desired results that they want. Because at the end of the day, no one cares about excuses. All people care about is results. And so rich people say, I'll do it no matter what, and poor people say, I just can't do it. Rich people realize that you can't win without taking at least some calculated risks. They concentrate on their target and they get there. Poor people, on the other hand, try to avoid risks at all possible times because they're afraid of losing what money they do have. Rich people face their problems while poor people try to avoid those problems. Rich people face their fears. Poor people never admit to themselves that they even have fears. Poor people prefer their comfortable, familiar routine compared to something that could be potentially risky. And as a result, it prevents them from getting wealthy. And the moral of number 3, I can sum up with a quote that I love, which is, you can tell how successful someone is by the number of uncomfortable situations they put themselves into. Number 2 is how you get paid. Poor people get paid in direct exchange for their time. So if you work 1 hour at McDonald's, you make $10 in exchange. Rich people get paid based on what they create and their results. Poor people get paid by the hour. Rich people get paid based on the automations and systems that they set up to make them money while they're not actively working. Michael Jordan was not paid based on how many hours he practiced. He was paid based on the game winners that he hit in the playoffs or his end results. And so the moral of number 2 is rich people get paid while they sleep, regardless of whether or not they're actively working. And poor people get paid in direct exchange for 1 hour of their time. And last and most importantly, number 1, which is learning habits. Poor people go to high school or maybe college and they think that that's enough learning for one lifetime. Rich people never stop learning. They learn as much as they possibly can because they understand that knowledge is power. Poor people want everything done for them. They say, I don't know how to do it. Rich people also don't know how to do it, but they Google it. Because in the wise words of Jim Rohn, formal education makes you a living, but self-education makes you a fortune. And so to summarize, guys, your mindset is what makes the difference between being poor and being rich. How you spend your time, what you focus on, and what your habits are determine your wealth. So tell me in the comments below, do you have the mentality of a rich person or a poor person? And I'll pick my favorite comment down below and I'll give you a shout out in the next video. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you click the like button and make sure that you subscribe. Turn on the little notification bells so that you can be up to date on all the brand new videos on how to make money online. And since so many people have been asking me, I get all of my entrepreneur clothes from a site called unemployed-ceo.com. So head over there and pick up the hottest merch for entrepreneurs. And if you haven't already, make sure you click this link right here to join our giveaway so that you could potentially win a brand new iPhone X or MacBook laptop and so much more. And until next time, my beautiful YouTube family, happy hustling.